What's up everyone, Maxwell Verdi here bringing you the first episode of WWE Weekly. This series is pretty much self-explanatory, especially if you watch the video, but if you have any needed questions then just check the description for full details. Last Sunday was the Royal Rumble. I won't touch on the event too much because if you watch Raw and or SmackDown then you should know what happened. One thing I will get into though is Sheamus. Sheamus won the Royal Rumble match this year to earn a main event spot at WrestleMania. A lot of fans were very disappointed in this because it seemed like Chris Jericho was the clear-cut winner. I myself was disappointed. Not because Y2J didn't win, but because he claimed the Royal Rumble was going to be the end of the world as we all know it. And nothing even happened. The main topic of Raw was John Laurinaitis facing a returning Triple H in a job evaluation. John Laurinaitis announced a lot of things for that night, including Daniel Bryan versus CM Punk in a champion versus championship match. I was very pleased with the beginning of this promo because it once again had Daniel Bryan swaying into becoming a full-fledged heel, but WWE had him agree with Punk and it ruined it. Sheamus even came out and put his 2 cents into the situation. I really enjoyed where Wade and Randy was going. Barrett kept getting interviewed during Orton's match. I thought this was new, fresh, and very different, but I did not like the fact that the segment kept panning away from Dolph Ziggler versus Randy Orton, which I thought was becoming a great match, but all the Wade interruptions kind of took away from it in my opinion. The Raw Elimination Chamber will be made up of CM Punk, Chris Jericho, Dolph Ziggler, R-Truth, Kofi Kingston, and The Miz. Miz and Kofi squared off this week, with R-Truth on commentary basically saying that he is done with The Miz and was moving on. Kofi Kingston picked up the victory, thus continuing Miz's Raw losing streak. Daniel Bryan vs. Punk was actually pretty entertaining. It was a very good match that was interrupted by Chris Jericho. I liked this because I believed both men should not have taken a clean loss to each other, so giving Daniel the win by disqualification and Jericho interference was a very smooth move by the World Wrestling Entertainment. A lot of people don't like where the Kane and Cena angle is going, but not to worry, after Elimination Chamber this will all be history. The night concluded with Triple H about to fire John Laurinaitis, but was struck when The Undertaker had returned. This seems to be setting up for something very special. Undertaker laid the challenge for WrestleMania out, and Triple H walked away with no answer. I really don't know where this Drew McIntyre angle is going at all. Every time they have something to do for this man, it never really works out. The SmackDown Chamber was set as well, but Mark Henry was suspended by Teddy Long and then bro-kicked by Sheamus. This is most likely giving Mark his time off for his injuries. Cody Rhodes then came out to a match with Sheamus. Sheamus picked up the win, of course, with a new finisher, which we've all seen before, known as the Celtic Cross done by Finlay in the past. Daniel Bryan completely took what it seems to be a full-fledged heel turn. Big Show interrupted him and even came down and attacked him. Bryan got away before anything worse had happened to him, though. Brodus Clay versus Heath Slater. You should know where this went. Drew then came out to try and attack Brodus. You should also know where this went. Barrett versus Orton was actually pretty decent. It ended with an RKO, followed by a second RKO onto a steel chair. Teddy Long then made Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton for next week's broadcast. Randy was celebrating his victory when Daniel Bryan came out and started celebrating something too. That about wraps up this week of WWE Weekly. Stay tuned for episode 2 next Saturday or so. Hope you liked this. Please like this video if you did. It helps me a lot.